Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is India's most revered social reformer. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that his life is among the most remarkable stories that I have ever come across. He grew up as a backward caste leader, often being discriminated against on the basis of his birth. His remarkable life serves as an inspiration for millions of Indians across the world. He firmly believed that education and intermarriage was the way to break through the shackles of the caste system. He spent his early life in a village, then moved to Mumbai, which was known as Bombay back then in the early 1920s, where he read law, and then he moved on to study economics and law again at the London School of Economics, as well as at Columbia University in New York. He was the first person from a backward caste to study at these prestigious universities, and having returned feeling confident, he was yet again exposed to the discrimination of the caste system. He then vowed to fight for the millions of oppressed castes across the country, who he referred to as the depressed classes. He wrote a seminal book called The Annihilation of Caste, which spells out the methods to overcome the shackles of the caste system. In the book, he refers to caste as a building with no elevators or staircases, where you are born and die on the same floor. He is also known for his intellectual opposition to Mahatma Gandhi and wrote another book called What Congress and Gandhi Have Done to the Untouchables. Ambedkar went on to become India's first law minister and was instrumental in shaping the country's constitution, as I stated in my previous Swell. I urge everyone here on Swell to go ahead and read up on Ambedkar's life and work and let me know what you think.
Hey, thanks for providing that Wikipedia post. And I never would have known about this man had you not brought it up here. I live in Los Angeles and live in the States, and rarely do we get a history lesson. But I wanted to ask specifically about the legacy he's left and what leaders now, what change makers now are embodying his vision, who out there is carrying the torch, specifically around his idea about intermarriage and breaking the caste system. Is that theoretical, or does that actually work once it happens?
Hey Deborah, thank you so much for that Swell and your questions. There have been a lot of leaders who have emerged from the political system itself, ironically. So after Ambedkar died, many backward caste leaders became prominent politicians, and they went ahead and enacted welfare policies such as representations for backward castes in colleges and universities. And one of them was a woman leader known as Mayawati. I'll mention some of the other names on the description of this Swell, but it's important to note that a lot of radical leaders, especially over the last 3-4 decades, have been women in politics. And as for upward mobility, I think migration to urban cities such as Delhi and Mumbai helped people break the caste barrier. And additionally, there's been a lot of migration to other countries as well, which helped. But I think the sad truth is that if you still live in a village in certain parts of the country and look to marry above your caste, there have been violent repercussions. And in several cases I've read about is that, people have ended up dying, or, there's been mob violence and all kinds of atrocities. And Ambedkar's famous slogan to mobilize the backward castes back when the freedom struggle was on in the 1940s was to educate, unite, and agitate. And I think that still holds true today. So it really is a combination of education which comes about through these welfare programs, as I previously mentioned. So I hope that they continue and they further expand these programs, because they're actually helping and they will go a long way. Of course, there are a lot of issues with them within the system itself, but you got to start somewhere, right? And yeah, so I hope all of this makes sense.
I'm like, why do I know this name, Ambedkar? And I'm just like, I don't know why the name sounds so familiar to me. I'm pretty sure, like high 90s, that this was the name mentioned in the book Caste by Isabel Wilkerson, because she does mention someone in India who worked tirelessly to basically get rid of the caste system and to come up with policies and principles against it. And I have a feeling, I know it's this person. I mean, like when I'm reading a book, I'm kind of skim over names and get the concept of the book. And I let my friend borrow the book, so I can't really like open it and go through it. But I'm very, very sure, because I just Googled caste, Isabel Wilkerson and Ambedkar, and it mentions that Isabel Wilkerson had read up on him and things like that. So, yeah, without the physical book in my hand, I cannot 100% verify it. But, yeah, she does mention Ambedkar and the Indian caste system in the book Caste. I mean, this is, I would highly, highly, highly recommend anyone who's listening to this to read the book Caste by Isabel Wilkerson. And I'd love to read Ambedkar's work also. It sounds actually sounds like phenomenal and sounds fascinating. And I mean, it's great from an intellectual standpoint of how the human psyche allows for a system like this. Both the people in the lower caste and the people in the upper caste, how the psyche maintains the system. And it's just great about the thoughts on breaking the system. And yeah, thank you for this swell. And I know Deborah's on this, so she's kind of picky with me on ending my swells with, all right, I'll talk to you later. And it's very rough on me to just hang up on a swell, but I am going to do just that.
Shanaz, that's so funny that you said that, because, well, first of all, I was just eavesdropping on your guys' conversation. I was not planning to comment. It's interesting, but I was just eavesdropping. And then you ended your swell, and I was like, I have the exact same problem. I was just asking somebody else. I was asking Christina, Seeking Plum. I was like, what do you think my sign-off should be? I feel like I need a sign-off. I don't know how to end a swell, because I feel like I'm ending a phone call, but it's not a phone call or a voicemail. And even voicemails, like, there's more of a formality or a standard greeting, like, that you sign off with. And I was thinking it's like, be like a podcast sign-off, like, I don't know. I've had some bad ideas, so I think saying, okay, goodbye, it seems normal to me. Or talk to you later. Because it feels like a phone call, right? Or a voicemail. And if it's not that, then, well, my ideas are too corny to be believed. I just don't want to sign off with the way I've been signing off. But now I'm stuck. I'm literally stuck. I have to, like, hang up on you now. And it's so awkward. And it's rude, right? So we should have some kind of, like, standard swell sign off or greeting. Maybe that's what we should do. We should vote on it.